Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today, Arc of the South Shore will be back with us to talk about their upcoming summer soiree later on this month. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's beautiful out there, lots of sunshine, just a few high thin clouds, 65 degrees. Right now, temperatures will top off in the comfortable low 70s this afternoon. Another cool evening tonight under partly cloudy skies. Lows drop off into the lower 50s. Today will be the, quote, coolest day of the week. We've got some summer heat moving in. Tomorrow, beautiful, lots of sunshine and comfortable still with highs in the upper 70s. Then we start to feel more humid on Wednesday with a mix of sun and clouds, and temperatures Wednesday in the upper 80s. Could even see some afternoon thunderstorms here on Thursday. It'll be hot and muggy with highs Thursday into the upper 80s, becoming more comfortable again on Friday. Again, partly sunny, 65 in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today, a proposal for a new apartment complex at the site of the former Grumpy White's restaurant on C Street in Quincy is currently under review by the Quincy Planning Board. Developers are proposing a new 3-story, 18-unit multifamily residential building with 41 parking spaces. The current proposal was downsized from an earlier plan for a 4-story, 24-unit building after neighbors expressed some concern about the size of that project. The building's also been redesigned to better fit with the character of the neighborhood, and a new traffic signal is expected to increase safety when you're entering and exiting the adjacent Quincy Youth Hockey Arena. The planning board meeting was continued until June 25th. Grumpy White's closed back in 2020 after 40 years in business. Quincy Planning Board unanimously approving a proposal for a 5-story, 48-unit apartment complex for Willard Street, right across from the Common Market restaurant. That plan was also downsized from the initial proposal for a 6-story, 58-unit complex after neighbors there complained about the size and traffic impacts. There will still be 84 parking spaces for the new building. Concern was also raised about a historic granite house on that property. The owners have agreed to gift that structure to the city at no cost. The building, made of Quincy granite, will be disassembled and then reassembled at the Quincy Quarry and Granite Workers Museum at the Lyons Turning Mill. Concerns about flooding in the area were also addressed to the satisfaction of the planning board. Proposals for 3 new housing developments on Old Colony Avenue in Quincy are still under review by the planning board. The plans call for a 5-story, 62-unit condo complex and a 19-unit condo complex. Attorney Ed Fleming explains the proposal has been downsized based on neighborhood feedback.
So David and Cindy have revised the plans from a 6-story building now to a 5-story building. But the bigger change to this proposal went from 94 dwelling units to 62. The building was initially proposed as an apartment building for rental units. And because of the changes that were made to the plans, the unit sizes were changed, and the 62 units now will provide for 62 condominium dwelling units. So they'll be for sale rather than for rent. The bedroom count was 54 2-bedrooms and 8 1-bedrooms in that particular location, which was similar to what was provided, but these units actually now provide for more space within the 5-unit structure.
That smaller development that was to be used as affordable apartments has been changed to market rate condos. Both proposals will be heard again at the June 25th Planning Board meeting. 7 new patrol officers in Quincy are starting police academy training today. The new officers were sworn in during a ceremony last Thursday at Quincy City Hall. Chief Mark Kennedy reflected on his 27 years of service to the department in welcoming the new officers.
So I welcome you, I welcome your families to our family, and I wish you nothing but success in the academy and starting on Monday. So. Thank you. With that, I'll turn it over to Patty McGowan. I'm sorry, not turn it over to Patty McGowan. I want to thank Patty McGowan for her work at Human Resources. We wouldn't be here without her and the incredible team of background investigators that I have in my department. I know you've all become pretty intimately familiar with. I often say that we want the right people. We don't have trouble recruiting people and getting people to become Quincy police officers. And I'd rather make sure that we have the right people sitting in those seats and keep out the wrong people.
Those new officers are Thomas Lee, Ryan Campbell, Kareem El Dayasti, Andrew Kelly, John Reed, Devlin St. Marie, and Gregory Rice, who was actually a lateral transfer. He will not need academy training. The new Quincy City budget that begins in July includes funding for 20 new patrol officers. Abington Bank has donated $125,000 to the Quincy College Foundation. Quincy College President Rick DeCristofaro accepted the donation recently and said the donation will support dozens of new annual scholarships for Quincy College students. Abington Bank CEO Kevin Tierney said they are committed to supporting communities that they serve in ways that make a positive impact on individuals and families. The foundation was formed recently by Quincy attorney Paul Barbadoro and will host a fundraiser coming up on June 24th from 5 to 7 at Alba Restaurant in Quincy Center. Mayor Thomas Koch will share remarks about the impact of education in the community. Well, the city of Quincy kicked off Pride Month yesterday with the unfurling of the newly redesigned Quincy Pride Progress flag outside the United First Parish Church in Quincy Center. The Quincy LGBTQ+ Commission held a ceremony featuring blessings from the Quincy Interfaith Network, performances by the Quincy Choral Society, and the first inaugural Flag Raisers Awards presented to Quincy Access Television, Boston Scientific, and the Quincy chapter of PFLAG. The annual Quincy Pride Festival will be held this coming Sunday at Pageant Fields. Touch check of news for you today. Coming up, Arc of the South Shore preparing for their summer soiree. We'll get all the details next. Welcome back. We are so happy to welcome back to the program Arc of the South Shore to share a little bit about their story and about some details for their summer soiree, which is coming up later on this month, actually. So Elizabeth Samblom, Brenda Linden are back. Hi, ladies. Good to see you.
Hello.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Pleasure. This is great. Although Arc South Shore located on the South Shore, serving Quincy, right, Elizabeth?
Absolutely.
And many other communities
Yes.
As well. You're relatively new. Let's remind folks a little bit about yourself before we talk about anything else.
Sure. I started here in February, and I feel like I have been working here forever.
Is that
It's
right?
been a wonderful transition. Yep. And we're doing some great things. So we're looking forward to sharing about the soiree and the next year where we're going to be celebrating our 75th anniversary.
Wow,
So
that's
yes.
amazing. Yeah. For folks who aren't aware, a little bit about Arc's mission, if you could.
Sure. So we support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, including autism, all across the South Shore. We start with the littles, we call them. So we have an early intervention program located in Weymouth, and we go all the way through people's lifespans, and we support older individuals in residential and employment and day services. We have a lot of enrichment activities, yoga and movie nights and dances, and again, as you said, all across the South Shore. So
Yeah. Do you have any sense for about how many folks you help every year?
we, in all of our different programs, I don't have the total number. We support individuals that live at home with their families
Yep.
and need a little bit more hands-on support. That actually spans further out than the South Shore, where we go as far as north of Boston and into Revere.
Oh, really?
And we go down into like Taunton and Attleboro
Oh.
agency for that as well. And then we have an adult foster care program, which also supports people with varying disabilities so that they can remain at home living with their families.
Sure.
We get close to about 6,000 individuals and families every year that we help.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's significant over this
Yeah.
past 74 years.
Right. Be it a phone call just for help with a question or a reference, or actually doing some real, in-depth direct support.
Sure. You must have an incredible staff
We
to
do.
be able to provide these services.
Yeah.
We should talk a bit about who those folks are
Yep.
and what what they do, because it's truly, it's a passion, right? It's a calling, I'm
It
sure,
is. It
to
is.
help folks with disabilities, yeah.
And I think part of our 75th year, we're going to really be digging into that a little bit
Yeah.
and asking our staff to share their why. Why do they do this work? So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I think it's a great story
Yeah.
to tell, because folks do it unheralded sometimes, you know, and unnoticed, but it's so critical, especially to the people that they
Yes.
serve. They must develop very strong relationships.
Very strong relationship. We had a night the other night where we were doing pizza and planning.
Yeah.
So our individuals came and developed their own vision board for their future.
Yeah.
And as they were talking with their staff and talking about their staff, it really is like a family.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we pride ourselves on that reciprocal, respectful relationship.
Yeah, not only that, but when you're dealing with, you quote, the littles all
Yeah.
the way up to adulthood, I
Yeah.
mean, they're a part of the family
Yeah.
at that point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just a work-client relationship.
Right. We're welcomed into people's homes.
Right.
You're right. We know details about their lives and just try to help support them through all the different transitions that they go through.
Yeah, so, I mean, your staff, you really have to build a level of trust.
Yeah.
I mean, that's key, right?
Yeah,
In order
exactly.
to provide adequate services. If you can't be trusted, you're not going to open up and be able to help them as
Right.
much as you possibly could, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think it's worthwhile for sure, and worth mentioning, and it's
Yes.
what makes the soiree all that much more important, right, Brenda?
Exactly. It's our largest fundraiser
It is,
of the
okay,
year.
yeah.
It's going to be on June 12th. We're at our day programs, but we set up a big tent, so we're outside
Oh.
on the beautiful shores of Webb State Park.
Oh, that's good, because Mother Nature has not been friendly to us lately.
Yes, so we do have a big tent, but that's not going to happen
Okay.
that
Oh,
night.
right, that's going to be a beautiful night, absolutely. Okay. So June 12th, okay?
Yeah,
Tell us all
so
about it.
it's a great night
Yep.
that we gather a bunch of different restaurants from the South Shore. We have Abbey Park, Novara, Burton's. Who else do we have? Davio's, Moncilio's, The Best. Tosca, Common Market Group. So quite a few different restaurants, tasting portions. We have a wonderful live and silent auction.
Oh, do tell.
We'll have some really great Red Sox tickets with overnight stay in Boston. We also have Bruins tickets with a signed hockey puck. We have various South Shore packages. One, Liz is putting together her favorite things around the South Shore.
Nice, nice.
Then a Plymouth Adventure package that Plymouth Coffee Company has put together for us. So a lot of different fun things for the families to do over the summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of folks have really stepped up to
Yep.
support this, right?
Yeah, we have some wonderful sponsors that, really have been with us since the start. The plan of Masson, Rhode Island, South Shore Bank, Electro Switch, Eastern Bank, Granite, to name just a few.
Sure, absolutely. And I'm guessing, Brenda, there's still opportunities for sponsorships?
Of course, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Reach out to you? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, they can reach out to me either via, I think you're putting email and phone.
Yeah, we'll put all your contact information
Okay.
up there for folks to see, absolutely. And tickets are required, yes?
Tickets are required. It's
Okay.
$175 a ticket,
Okay.
and they can purchase them online.
Okay, all right. And about how many folks are you hoping to have?
We usually have about 350 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a nice gathering.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And this year, we're highlighting the event by doing a fashion show.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, do tell that.
So we have 20 of our individuals
Yeah.
that are been practicing with two women who do fashion shows, some
Yeah.
Humankind and Next on Scene, and we've been having practices and learning the runway skills, and so yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Oh, okay.
And doing demonstrations for all of us every time they come to the office to visit.
Oh, really?
Yep. They're
Showing
doing
off
great.
their skills?
Yep,
yes.
absolutely.
Where are the fashions coming from?
The fashions are coming from Lynn Evans in Norwell, and then Milton's in Braintree,
Oh.
and then a few other designers out of New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this could be in the society pages.
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Do you have kind of a goal in mind for how much you'd like to raise?
We'd like to get to about $250,000
Sure.
that evening is our usual goal.
Okay.
And if we go above that, even better.
All the better, right? Exactly, yeah. As you mentioned, it is the largest fundraiser for ARC South Shore. Liz, maybe we could talk a little bit about
Sure.
why that's important and what the funds will be used for.
So, historically, nonprofits obviously have always relied on fundraising.
Yes.
It's very important. But in our current climate and with unknown resources from both the state and federal government, it's even more important this year to make sure that we do a great job during this fundraiser.
Sure.
Again, any funds raised augments our state and federal funding, but it also allows for us to do some enrichment in some programs that aren't covered by state or federal funding. So we're able to have our Autism Resource Center, which touches hundreds of families every year. As I said earlier, it could be from a simple phone call, or it could be going in people's homes and supporting families during difficult times and transitions. So that is a big piece of where our fundraising goes. And then other enrichment activities, from building raised garden beds to, gazebos in people's backyards, all kinds of things that we do that make people's lives better and allow them to do some special activities and be really important, valued parts of their community.
Absolutely. I know a lot of most social service agencies are in limbo, a little bit of flux
Yeah.
right now, just not really knowing what the future holds, right?
Exactly.
Is it the same at ARC as
Yes,
well?
the
Yeah.
same, all around. So
Sure.
there's a lot of support for us, and people can follow the ARC of Massachusetts, which is an amazing resource. We're one of 17 chapters under the ARC of Massachusetts, and they have a lot of advocacy opportunities there, and they make it really easy. So, if you want to be active in that regard, that's a great place to go and
Okay.
find resources. But we have wonderful advocacy and support groups that providers like us are a part of. So right now, knock on wood, things are okay,
Yes,
but
yeah.
it can change quickly.
Sure. How many ARCs are there in Massachusetts?
17.
Oh,
17
okay.
chapters, yep, all over Massachusetts. We're pretty representative of the geography, and they're just a fabulous community of folks doing great innovative things
Yeah.
and sharing ideas.
And are there other ARCs across the country?
Yep, the
Oh.
ARC of United States, and then each city, and not each city, but each state has, similar to Massachusetts, chapters of ARCs divided down. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's been a lot of discussion about autism recently
Yes.
due to some of the discussions
Yep.
happening at the federal level. Is that translating down locally, are you finding, to your clients?
I think, discussions, however they're presented,
Right.
allow for an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So I think our Autism Resource Center has been doing a lot of education, and just continues to have their door open for any families, any individuals that, feel the need to reach out, ask questions. We're there to answer and help however they need
Yeah.
that to look.
Do you know, Elizabeth, are there support groups, autism support groups that are sprouting up in communities that folks can access?
I haven't seen anything formally,
Okay.
but the state of Massachusetts Department of Developmental Disabilities does have some resources for peer support, for sibling support, and for parent support
Okay.
groups. So that's always something to look for.
Yeah.
And we, if anyone out there is listening
Right.
that is
Yeah.
interested in starting that, we would be happy to connect people and play that role to help give them space to meet anything that might be helpful or necessary. The nice thing about both our early intervention programs and our autism resource centers is when there's an activity or an event, things sort of happen naturally. So a parent will drop off their kids or their adults and then say, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat,
Yes.
or let's go for a walk. And then they develop that support kind of naturally,
Absolutely.
which is the best kind.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen when folks connect
Yeah.
on the same level, right? With the
Exactly.
same goal and the same
Exactly.
mission. Yeah.
I love that you use the word connect,
Yes.
because my theme for the next year,
Yes.
as we're celebrating 75, is sort of the 4 C's. So we're celebrating, right? But also connections is a big piece of, you know, what we do. We help make connections. We help people maintain connections and friendships and relationships. Community, you know, we have been in this community for 75 years, which is really unique. There's
Yes.
a lot of provider agencies out there. We all do fabulous work. We
Right.
all have similar missions, but we're unique in that we've been rooted in this community for such a long time. And then contributions. So whether it's attending the soiree or making a donation or volunteering your time, however that contribution looks to that individual person, those are also appreciated by us.
It's important
So,
to say thank you, right?
yes, exactly.
Absolutely. So, Brenda, do you need anything for the soiree?
Nope.
Volunteers, donations, sponsors?
We're good with volunteers,
Okay.
but we still have room for sponsorship.
Okay.
Guests to attend and come and bid on some of the fabulous auction items that we have.
Yeah, is it a live auction or?
There will be a live auction
Okay.
too that includes a trip to Antigua.
Oh.
Some great dining experiences with limo service.
Yes.
And as well as Red Sox tickets in the Comcast box with
Okay.
limo service in. So, yeah, so we have some fun things.
Sounds like fun. Who's your auctioneer?
Jim Fagan.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So
Well
he'll be
known.
joining us for the second year.
Okay.
And actually, Liz is going to be his sidekick
Oh.
for the fashion
the
show.
fashion.
Oh, very good.
Yes,
So-
I
Will
can't
you be
wait.
modeling on the runway as
No,
well?
unfortunately.
How
I'll
about you,
just-
Brenda?
No, I'll be at the end making sure everybody gets down the runway, okay?
It's going to be great energy, though. I promise
Yeah.
that.
Do you need models?
We are good with models.
good with
Our
models,
individuals were all asked who wanted to participate.
Yeah.
And they, like I said, they went to a practice last week.
Yeah.
And we just got them all their clothing and fitted last week as well. So they're going to get hair and makeup and the whole experience.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And is it like a formal sit down or is it kind of?
No, it's just
okay.
kind of a tasting
Yep.
event, and there's regular high top tables that you can,
Sure.
or depending on your sponsor level, a table of 10 and things like that. So yeah, it's a really, it's a great night of networking.
Yes.
With all of your friends and coworkers on the South Shore while doing something great.
Yeah. Logistically, Webb State Park, Bridge Street, North Weymouth, right?
Yep,
So,
yep, and there's we have valet parking,
Okay.
so people don't have to worry about finding parking in the park or whatever. You
Right.
just pull right up and
They take the car and you go and have a
you're
good
met
time.
with a drink. They take your car and ready to have a great time.
Have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there entertainment at all?
We have a DJ coming
Oh, you do?
in
Okay.
to do the fashion show, and we'll be playing music and throughout the evening.
Gotcha. Okay. And about how long does the event?
The event goes from 6 to 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And it should just be getting dark at about that time.
Exactly,
So it's
exactly.
still light. No, I don't want to say it, but no rain contingency. No. Okay.
No, it's a big tent, but we usually get the storms right at the end of the night, which
Oh, really?
works out fine. Yeah.
How many years has the soiree been going on?
This will be the 12th year.
Okay, all right. So we're hoping for a big one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Liz, I'm just going over some of the goals that you've kind of listed for ARC of the South Shore, and the one that caught my eye that I wanted you to expand a little bit on was strengthen self-advocacy efforts.
Sure.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So we actually kicked that off last week at our pizza and planning night, but just giving people a voice. The individuals that we support, when you talk to them one-on-one, they all have hopes and dreams and
Sure.
visions for their future, just like you or I have. And so how do we give them that voice? How do we help them learn the skills to sit at the table with professionals and say, wait a second, this is what I'd like to do.
Yes.
And so developing tools, utilizing, developing staff skills in helping them use their voices, public speaking, all kinds of opportunities to really talk about what's important to them and feeling comfortable advocating for themselves in all different settings, whether
Yes.
it's at a doctor's office or
Yeah.
again, at a table of professionals talking about their own lives, or with mom and dad at the dinner table.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for all of us.
Yes.
but right, talking about yourself, you
Yeah.
know, and talking about your
Yeah.
needs and putting them out there. But for somebody who's struggling emotionally, it's an added challenge.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So-
Or somebody that doesn't have the same language skills that you or I
That too,
have. So
right.
then how else can they communicate? And it's still communicating. It's,
Yes.
just as important. So
Speaking of, as I recall, you're also certified in sign language.
I'm proficient at ASL.
Proficient.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So.
Has that come in handy yet?
Interestingly enough, I
Yeah.
just got a letter from a family member saying that their son has been deaf
Yes.
since birth, and that they saw in my bio that I'm proficient in sign language,
Yes.
and they reached out to ask if we can talk, and so that just came late last week.
How
So
great
I'm
is
looking
that?
forward to reaching out to
That's
them. Yeah.
fantastic. I just read a story recently. There's a Quincy public school teacher teaching sign language
Yeah.
to the, I think, first grade.
It's an amazing
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah.
I highly recommend anyone that's interested, go for it, take a class.
That's great.
Yeah.
Anything else we should let folks know about? Just come, have fun, buy your
Yeah.
tickets.
And if you
Absolutely.
go on our website, you
Yep.
can see our whole calendar of events. The early intervention play
Yep.
groups, the autism programs. We'll be participating in the Falmouth Road Race in August.
Okay, we'll have to have
So-
you back.
All right, yeah, we'd love to come back during
Great.
Direct Service Professional Appreciation Week.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a date.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks you
Thank
both.
you.
Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
You're welcome. Just enough time to check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. Beautiful sun and clouds, comfortable low 70s. Starts to warm up beginning tomorrow. It's still nice. It's sunny in upper 70s. Then we turn summer-like on Wednesday and Thursday. Hazy, hot, and humid conditions. Highs approaching 90. Thanks again to Elizabeth Sandblom and Brenda Linden from Arc of the South Shore. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Friday here on the show, we have members of Quincy Pride stopping by to talk about this year's festival. Meantime, visit our website, qatv.org. All of our latest programs are there with news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.